Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pad Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacino. Remember, Bob is not here today, so you just get me. Sorry about that for everybody who wanted to hear from Bob. What a day. I'm ready for nap time. Is anybody else ready for nap time? By the way, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ring that bell, and hitting that like button. Longer term subscribers, please like, or if you find it appropriate, dislike a video and leave some comments. Again, we want to get this into wider distribution. How is everyone doing? Hey, Tesla Force. Hello, Wavy. Yeah, Abraham, rip the face rally. And I told you there'd be rip your face off rallies. I told you this is exactly what happens. So it's not surprising we had those doubles going into the day and then they triggered and we got the upside move. Well, Dave, something tells me this rally is sort of a bigger up move. It will get a correction. We should get a correction bounce. I'll tell you what I'm watching for. But again, I think it'll roll over. I see two. I'll go into that in a bit. Hello, all. What an awful day in terms of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. Completely agree. And our sanctions are a joke. So I bet you see China move on to Taiwan. We're not going to do anything. Rich thinks it's a dead cat bounce. I think we'll have a little rally then roll over. What a ride, roller coaster. Expecting S&P to hit 3,800. I'm expecting it to turn lower again. Nothing's changed in the macro. And I'll show you what I was watching. Hello, Sashi. Again, Bob's not here. We reversed close to 1,000 point on Dow and 700 points on Nasdaq. This tells me the rallies are coming. There'll be probably a continued rally. I wouldn't be surprised if it lasted through the little March 1st. Again, remember I talked about it. We have end of month rebalancing coming up. We were pretty oversold. I mean, we definitely, you can see here on the S&P with today's just got out of oversold and then the rip your face off rally. It's nap time after your stream's long day. I need a rest. It's not easy putting these streams, even though I can do this, the analysis is, prepping the stream, everything else, getting everything set up and just shifting gears 3 times. Well, there'll be 4 live streams today. That's a lot of live streams. So I thank you all for tuning into them, though. Thank you. So again, let's take a look at that shorter term price action. This is why you need to subscribe, because if you missed any of our streams today, you actually missed a lot. We identified the double bottom, reacting at the first target, pausing second target, then going through to next targets. My next area I was targeting end of day was this 42.75, which we already had identified before. Little tip for you. How do I know even if we pull back, let's say we pull back tomorrow, what do? I watch for, this is considered a big reversal bar. So what do I start to watch for? Again, if we retrace from the lows to the highs, now if we go up and make a slightly higher high, you'll have to update these levels. But if we retrace and more than the 62.5 on a closing basis, this was a failure bar. And I actually love pullbacks that between the 37.5 on these and the 50%, especially with this little rising rotation zone. So if we do get a nice little pullback, that can be a nice little short-term play for continued follow through. The bigger picture, let me pull these out. I don't want to get too many lines on here. Bigger picture, I have the retracements from this last little down move. Even to the 62.5%, I'm going to really be watching between the 50 and the 62.5% in the next couple days. That would take us back into the daily rotation zone and those key little levels on this move. You get above on a closing basis 62.5, I could see us retesting this higher area before another down push. So we will keep an eye on that, but that's what you should do on these bars. Do your little harmonic retracements. At this point also, with this being a big move in here, we got to update all our keys. This is the new anchor point, even though it's not technically a pausing bar yet. It will probably will be. Let's see who else we have. Thank you, Sashi. Thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate all the super chats. It really keeps me motivated, keeps me going to get this information out for free. Naz is killing it today. Naz is killing it today. Here's your Naz. Again, I just start with the bigger picture for. Let me remove some of these other levels intraday. We don't need to recap everything. Update everything again. We're going to re-anchor. So if you're following along with your harmonics, that's your new anchor point. Again, here's the 50% is about 14,130. The top of the rotation zone is about 14,422. So I'm still watching in this area to see how we react. Again, we get a close above the 62.5. I'll watch for a return to these high areas, and that's a temporary bounce. I mean, you see we even bounced with this little bar and then came back up and then rolled over again. So even a rally up to, the 50 day would be a sellable rally. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it, Sultan. Thank you so much. So that's it. That's the upside where I'm watching. Again, we can come back. I didn't do the minor levels in the S&P, did I? I didn't do the minor levels. What was I thinking? Hold on one second. Let's do these minor levels. Let's just see. We got a pausing bar right here. Sorry about that. I mean, I'll fine tune these tomorrow, but in case people are going to watch stuff tonight, 43.13, 43.37 to 43.43 are my next key levels up. Again, on a pullback, I'd just be watching first is 42.20. Then if we drop below there, 41.90. Let me put a line there. And then if we drop below there, I'm back to 41.50. Sorry. Now let me jump back to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, we're getting that little pause. Again, we'll have to do a pre-market one tomorrow because in these volatile times, that's what you have to do. But next target up would be 4,100 essentially and 14,222. Sort of that 222, sort of nice with all those twos in this February month. On a pullback, I'm going back to about this 13,680 level is the first key area. Then minor, I'll be going to about 13,547. We start dropping below that, then I'm going to watch for a bigger retest of this 13,200 area because that means probably something else came out. Dow hit all those double targets also. I hope some of you were able to take advantage of that today. Dow lagging the most, still down. If you look at the Dow, still below yesterday's close technically. So with that, let me update all our levels again. Dow major area I'm watching is about 33,850 to about 33,960. Then major would be 34,400. The Dow looks really labored. I'd be shocked if it could get above its rotation zone. Remember to do the retracements on the candle. Let me just show you again. Just show you again what you want to do for your own charts at home. So your key area, for example, on the Dow would be this 32,560, 556, 560. Can't read that exactly, but that's close enough. That's what you're watching on a closing basis. Before that, if we do pull back bigger, I'd be watching these 1 hour rotation zones on all those different charts. To the upside, 33,335, 33,465 are the key levels to the upside. Let's see what else. Rich, I'm going to take a look at that in the next live stream, Etsy, and everything else. There's some key earnings we'll look at. So if you're going to attend that one, that would be great. What level on the NASDAQ are you thinking we bottom is in? Oh boy. I'm My first serious area that I'll really be watching for a bottom is starting around 11,000. But that's where I'll start to watch. It just depends how we get there. Again, I'm following the bigger stuff. And today, here's stuff because I like to get the pulse of things. There wasn't a lot of panic this morning, so this was not a panic capitulation bottom by any means for a couple reasons. People I talked to thought this was the greatest thing since Christmas morning. Look, we get to buy everything on sale. The Fed, for some reason, it's like the Fed's not going to be able to hike. They're going to have to start cutting again. Well, if they're not going to be able to hike, there's not more cuts. You'd have to go straight to QE. Everybody's like, well, because of this Russia thing, no hikes. It's all risk off mode again. What I talked about here, I'm going to jump to a stock because I did mention this one because it was a good candidate for a short squeeze. I mentioned this 2 days ago, I think. And this is the kind of stuff. It was already set up with a lot of short interest. You see a lot of stuff like this today. You see a lot of high flyer names. I mean, you see the Palantir. You look at that Tesla reversal. By the way, Tesla SEC supposed investigation into Kimball and Elon's trading, especially that poll and everything else going. But here's what I want to show you something else. And then we'll get to everything else. Ratios. Was anybody watching this today? Look at this bar with growth versus value. Okay? Now, it did get overdone. Not surprised, but this is the kind of stuff everybody's just piling back into, especially crap growth, like it's no tomorrow. Like this was it. I've heard repeatedly today that this is the lows for the year and it's all over. Well, the inflation hasn't changed. The Fed, I think they're still hiking in March, although it's down to one hike and that's barely holding on. But everybody just rotate. Value across the board got completely destroyed today. Growth was the name of the game, and it was all back to risk off, hunky dory. Everything's fine in the world. We're not going to have any problems. All right, you have crude, big reversal. At least the double's off the table, but we could still get a bigger pullback. Again, I'm still very bullish on crude. Any pullback is a gift to me. You look at gold. Gold at one point up to 1979 and slamming back down. Speaking of that, you look at cryptos, which are a risk asset, meaning it will spike back down and people pouring into cryptos again. So and cryptos are following, they're the most correlated with the NASDAQ actually. So it's more of a risk off high volatility play. I didn't look at the Russell, by the way. Russell, yeah, we do have a massive potential double bottom again. I'd be shocked if we got up there, but key area I'm watching for the Russell tomorrow is about 2035. So let's see what else. Notes, see the yield. I mean, we got that spike up and still the double's in play, but we could not get above that rotation zone on a closing basis still. Yields, we talked about the yield curve. Let's take a look at it again. Let's take a look first at the yield on the notes. So spiking down, still close at the rotation zone, spike through. This is why you want everything on the closing basis. So yields are actually moving back up with this. Inflation is still in play. It's not a big party mode yet. Don't get into party mode. Just get into, hey, we had a rip your face off rally with some of the riskiest assets are the ones that move. The I forgot it was the Goldman Sachs most shorted or the Bloomberg most shorted. Whichever one it was up over 4% today for the most shorted names. That should tell you something. Okay, this was just, and it started off with the juice in the NASDAQ first. Here's the 10-2s. Again, let's see. Not much. I mean, this is back to, I thought it would bump up a little more like I talked about this. What am I looking at? Wrong thing. There's your 10-2s. Hold on 1 second. There's your 10-2s. Still not, I mean, I thought it would bounce a bit more, but we went back into risk off mode and just kept going with, so the yields, you got a little bounce to this 10.5s. But that's really about it. What 30 years do today? Not much. So, what's my overall thing? I think we could continue to get a rally going at least through the month end. It'll be interesting to see the follow through tomorrow. It's interesting to see a bunch of stuff going into junk. Let me just see what the grains pulled back a bit, but they're still on a tear. That's a sort of a possible topping area, but I'm just going to watch how these regain. But wheat, again, wheat with the Russia conflict still going. You're going to see grain inflation, and we don't even have spring, all the stuff isn't in the ground yet. We don't even know the spring planting stuff and how the weather's going to affect that, if there's going to be flooding or if we're going to have drought conditions, whatever. And wheat's already through the roof. And the corn pulling back again, but approaching the highs back from last April, and soybeans spiking up above those highs from last May and just pulling back. But there's some major support in there. Why am I pointing out grains? Because it ties in with stuff like the inflation's not going away. DBA spike up. I'm going to watch for this to pull back now to the mid 20s. So if inflation is not going away, the Fed's still going to have to deal with it. And if people are shrugging off the Russia thing, and the sanctions were not much of anything. So I think there's still a ton of risk out there. And there's risk that, look at that, right up to that cluster. There's risk, again, that will probably come out of nowhere and we will roll over. Again, that is my expectation. And there's no price action. There is no price action, even with today. This is a short-term bottom to have a macro shift of changing that we're going. This is the bottom for the year, and we're going to new highs. So that's my little market discussion. Let's see. Caught the Dow rally late after lunch update. Was awesome. Thanks, and made my day. Thanks. Really appreciate it. You're welcome. Glad I could help. I'm just so surprised at all the buying today. It made no sense at all. Why sell it down so hard just to buy it back up? It's still the dip the buy mentality. Okay, and in these markets, and I'll call it longer term down markets that are shifting and rolling over more and more, you get the rip the face off rallies. On top of that, we still have the massive buy the dip crowd. There was no fear with them. They were like, this is just back up the truck. I heard multiple times today, Tesla going to 1,300 by end of March. I'm like, okay, this was the greatest gift. This is going to double. They're going to double their money by March on this dip. And I heard that on other crap that doesn't make any money, high and flying stuff. So we have too many people. It just shifted. Hey, we got the Russian invasion out of the way, and now it's buy the crap back because it's at rock bottom prices. Look at ARK. Look at ARK today. Look at that reversal. What was ARK up? 4%. Up intraday 7% and up 4% from yesterday's close. You want to talk about junk? Well, there you go. Okay. Oops, I need to put back on my indicators. So coming out of oversold with a divergence. So again, what am I going to be watching? Even if it returns to 74.25, it's another rotation back over, at least at this point. Nothing's fundamentally changed. Seems like tons of uncertainty and indecision in the markets now. Well, I think everybody thinks, though, not everybody. I think a lot of people think this is the lows for the year. If you buy the S&P based off the PE ratio, what's your number? I don't buy it based off the PE ratio, but I want to see PE ratios back below 15 in the S&P. Month-end rally, Friday and Monday. Yep, that's what I'm watching. And even slipping into Tuesday. Gold, big drop. Hello, sir. Did you buy Boeing at 190? No, I did not. Hi, William. Looks like a good entry point. I was going to go over stocks at in the next segment. So if you can join me there, we can look at those. Can't believe how coin has reacted earnings. Hey Dan, let's just peek at coin. I will peek at coin. Also, coin is you had the reversal in crypto coming down. We hit all the targets on the double divergence little here. So we had a divergence right in front of that harmonic rallying back up. What were earnings? So they beat and beat. It's up a bit. Oh no, it's down a bit. Sorry. We had that big rally. So we shall see. But I would not be surprised to see a little more upside even tomorrow in coin and then another rollover in Coinbase. So what are we going to look at? Let's just take a look one more time. Let me update this. I didn't update this afternoon. Oh, and let's take a look at what's coming out tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning's actually got more stuff in the bag. Let's just see where the CME group is. Figures. All right, let's just go to here. Core PCE price index is going to be major tomorrow morning at 7:30 Central. Core durable goods orders going to be important, and durable goods. So you have all that at 7:30. Personal income and spending also, and then you have consumer sentiment at 9 Eastern, and pending home sales. So there is a lot of stuff that can move the markets this morning. That's why I'm going to be really interested at what happens at 7:30 to see if that comes in hotter, if the price index comes in hotter than expected, if the market just brushes it off. It's just in end of month rally mode out of oversold conditions, and everything's just going to get ignored until it's not again. Why did you fail to open my page? With that, any other questions? Anything else? If not, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll take a look at some other stocks coming up. I know we also had things like Beyond Meat, Etsy. We already looked at Coinbase. We have Block or SQ. So I was going to take a look at some of those in the next session coming up in 30 minutes. Again, by the way, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ring that bell, and hitting the like button. Long-term subscribers, please leave comments and likes. See you in the next one. You are welcome. Trading is 90% watching, 10% actions. Did you follow it? Is that for me or for everybody else? I'm Mr. Advocate of sit on your hands until you have great setups. With that, I will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.